darlings, welcome back to another episode of Look What Meg Found. Today we're doing DIY kits again. I have one that for me is going to be a ton of fun. This is going to throw me right back into my childhood and how I grew up and what I grew up doing. So this is from Sixx Handmade. It is a weaving kit, specifically the Throat Chakra Weaving Kit. There is a whole line coming out that will be all of the chakras. Fun thing with this kit is it's the first time I will ever be attempting to do a weaving with a physical object in it, because the kit includes a crystal to put in the weaving itself, and I'm really down for this idea. I love this idea. But your kit, when you get it, comes in that beautiful tin. It's very well packaged. It has a card in the bottom telling you, and it's going to fall. Of course it is. Hang on. It's got the card in the bottom telling you exactly which chakra kit this is. This is the Throat Chakra Weaving Kit. It comes with the loom itself, a little tag that you'll be able to hang that will tell you exactly which one this is. There we go. It also comes with a yarn needle, your weft. Actually, no, let me rephrase. I know better than that. Your warp and your weft. The weft is hand-spun, hand-dyed local wool from her area of New York. And like I said, guys, this takes me back to my childhood and what I did growing up, because I grew up on a sheep farm. I know how to spin. I know how to weave. I know how to, I know how to go from it's running around on the animal out there to finished product. And I haven't played with this for years. So I'm really excited to dive into this one and show you guys just how easy it is to do something like this. So give me a second and I'm going to be right back, and I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. Now, that being said, I'm not going to make you sit there and watch while I go really slowly through every piece. A lot of it I'm going to wind up doing on like high speed for you. That way you don't have to sit through 3 hours of watching me do this. Okay, darlings, welcome back to this. Now we've got everything laid out so you can see it. This is the kit that you actually get. So we're going to open it back up. This is the warp. You're not going to need it at this moment, so we're just going to set it up here. I said that wrong again, y'all. She's going to fire me. This is the weft. This is the warp. This is the crystal. We are going to need it between needing the warp and the weft, so we're just going to set it up here. This is our yarn needle. This is critical. This is a tool you have to do this. And last but not least, this is the loom that you're going to be working with. I'm going to set that off to the side. We don't need that. These are your directions that come with it. I will tell you, she's also going to have YouTube tutorials directly on how to do this, because I'm not going to take you through step by step by step. But you want to go ahead and untangle the warp. I say that, and then I pull on it, and it tangles. There's so many thoughts here about untangling the problems of your life or any of that. But we're just going to go with, we're going to make this not a mess. Okay, now we have it all untangled. Get your yarn needle. You're going to, the easiest way I know to do it is to hold it between your fingers like this, scoop up and pinch it tight and slide off. Then it'll pop right through. Gonna want to pull this down. You want a manageable length, but it's kind of one of those fine lines. It's gonna be doubled up for a while you're working, and you're going to just keep advancing where it's doubled up. So pick any point on your loom that's going to become hole 1. So we're just going to take this one right here on top. Pull through, but leave yourself about a foot, roughly 12 inches. I mean, don't get out a ruler and measure it, but leave yourself roughly 12 inches or so from the loom that's just going to hang at the back and just hold it down while you work. So your next step is to go, if this is 1, we're going to past it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Go back through here. Now you're going to come up to 2. And you are going to discover this going to tangle a little and bunch up behind. You just gently pull on it and the bunch falls off. Now we're going to go to 14. And as we do this, you're going to see that it's going to create an X in the center. And everything you're doing on the front is going to mirror on the back. That is important to the crystal placement, that you have a double layer of warping here. And when you get like this, that you can't pull it through, that's when you're going to advance here. But I got to figure out which end it is that I need to pull, because, yeah. And you're just going to keep doing this until it's full. You do want to keep a little tension on your warp. You want it to be not loose and floppy. But that's as simple as when you pull it through, just make sure that you tug it a little tight. As you can see, this is not taking very long to do at all to get the warp set up. Now you notice that we've come up the last point, but there's no other hole to put it into. So what you do is you come up right here in the center. Let me get it in the center. There we go. Now you're coming up directly through the center, and we're going to do 2 rounds of just regular plain weaving right here with this to set a solid foundation in the center. That is simply just over under, basic over under weaving. So we're going to start here, under, over. All we're doing is just making sure there's a solid foundation at the core of this. And you just do that so you go all the way around twice on the front. All right, let me make sure I'm doing this right. This goes over, this goes under. There we go. Now to finish this off, we're just going to do 2 half-hitch knots. Simple, easy. Nothing complicated about a half-hitch ever. And then just pull your yarn needle off. We're going to go back and cut this off eventually, but not at this exact moment. Now you're going to take the end that you've been holding on to as you were weaving and put it back on the yarn needle. Because you're going to go from here down into the center, just like we did on the other side. And then we're just going to go with the same over-under technique all the way around twice on this side too. All right. Just doing the same over under again to get the second round in place and secure. Well, I lost my tail. Hold on. Sometimes that'll happen. You'll lose the end of the warp that's in the needle. It's okay. You just rethread it and go again. Same as with the other side, we're going to finish this off with 2 half hitches. A half hitch is simply insert around the warp so you get a loop and pull through. That's all there is to it. And again, just leave the end here hanging because we're going to take care of that at the end. Now, at this point, we have the loom warped. So you're going to take your crystal and you're going to slide it into the center of the piece so that it's between the 2 layers of warp. Now you're going to take your weft and you're going to pull off what you feel comfortable working with, but the longer the piece you work with, the less you have to go back and tie knots. Thread it onto your needle. Again, same way. hold between, pinch. It gives you a nice sharp crease that'll go right through the eye of the needle with no struggling. Now I'm going to straighten out this warp real quick. All right. Catching back up on the direction sheet. Now, to start this part, you're going to go ahead and secure it with a set of half hitches, which is a little more difficult when you're starting fresh. So, pull it up till you get to your end. But don't pull the end all the way through. Let me stress that point. Do not pull the end of your weft all the way through. Now, you're going to tie a half hitch here. You know how you start when you tie in your shoelaces? Boom. That's all there is to it. Now go to the thread next to it, go under it, and pull up until you have the same loop we did when we were working with the warp. And this is going to be a little messier on getting the yarn to move along. But here's your loop. Thread it through. And now your warp is secure. Now here comes the fun part. Now, when we did the regular weaving on the warp, we did both sides individually. Now you're going to work them together. So you're going to go through, kind of hold on to the crystal once you know exactly where you want it to be. And now you're going to do, it's the same over-under technique, but it's more like going front to back. Now, and like I said, it's going to be a little messy with the yarn because you're working with a fairly long length. So you're going to want to scoot that in so that it's up against the edge of the crystal. And you're going to come back up. So instead of going over, under, you're going front to back. And the first few rows you do, you're going to need to really tighten that up and make sure it's pushed firm against the edge of the crystal because this is setting your foundation to hold the crystal in place. And you can use the yarn needle to just kind of scoot it down and pull it a little snug. And when you get a little bit of a snarl, you just set it down and work it out. Pro tip, do not grab both ends and pull tight or you will give yourself a knot. You just need to find the ends that have wrapped up. Not really the ends, they'll be like these little bumps right here. And work them through until you find where the tangle is. Because if you just grab both ends and pull, you run the risk of tying yourself a big knot. And as you can see, we're just going around the crystal. In the first few rounds when you're weaving, no matter what form of loom you're using, whether you're using a little one like this, whether you're using one that you made out of cardboard, which I'm sure we're all familiar with from art class, or you're using a huge floor loom, your first few rows always look a little wonky. It takes a few rows to get it really set in and see what it is you want it to do. And be careful that you don't catch this or it will pull everything a little bit out of whack. All right, we are back to where we started, and this is where you're going to see the true over-under weaving pattern emerge, because everything we went over last time, we're going to go under this time. And as you go, you'll gently kind of just bump it in a little bit. That's what didn't go right here. And it's very easy to see if something's not going right, and you can almost immediately correct any issue. I missed one of the bottom warps, so I'm just going back and making sure I go through it. All right, I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch me do this. I'm going to do this ultra, ultra fast for you. So hang on and let's see how fast I can weave. Hello, darlings. Again, welcome back to the ending segment. I know with these DIY kits, we do a lot of cutting in and out, but that's how we do these. So I want to show you the finished product again, not laying on the table. I really think this is a cool idea. Now, like I said, I have grown up in this life with the spinning, the weaving, and this is the first time I've ever done one with a crystal embedded in it. This was a lot of fun. Honestly, it took me about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes to do it, but I didn't make you guys sit through that, obviously. It's a very, as far as weaving projects go, it's very quick, but it's also, once you get it set up, it's very repetitive, so it's very easy to do exactly what is intended and spend some time thinking and reflecting and just kind of sitting and being with yourself. So, again, we're going to talk about me. For me, doing this was the same thing as like when you find that old comfy broken sweatshirt that you put on and you're just like, oh, okay, this is my happy shirt. This took me right back to my happy place of just being relaxed and having fun like I was a kid. So I highly recommend the kit. There are, like I said, this is her Throat Chakra kit. There are 6 more to go with it to make the complete set if you would like to work on balancing all of your chakras at the same time. But I highly recommend the kit. It's very straightforward. It's very simple. The directions are clear as day on what you need to do. She also has a YouTube link to an actual tutorial, not watching me doing it. And guys, again, it's a great kit. So grab your kit. Once you've done your kit, hop over to the Facebook page and show me pictures of what you've done. I want to see yours too. And as always, if you like what you see, make sure you click subscribe, hit the little bell next to it. That way you will see all of the upcoming videos. You'll get notified the moment they go live. And if you would like a more behind the scenes look, such as getting to watch the live recordings when I'm doing things like the DIY kits, oftentimes you'll hear words that I shouldn't say in public. You'll hear me cracking all kinds of jokes because I can take the audio tracks off of these before I speed them up. If you're interested in a more behind the scenes look, join us on Patreon. The link is down below. There are multiple levels that will get you access to the behind the scenes recording studio that no one else gets to see. So darlings, I'm off to find something else for you, and I will see you next time.